as we turn to our COVID-19 pandemic survival series, where we engage entrepreneurs to figure out how they're working to stay in business despite the challenges posed by the pandemic. My guest tonight is CEO of Goat Masters, Gideon Padikonote. We'll speak to him in a bit. First, his story. The goats were virtually pushed on Gideon since nobody wanted them after his grandparents died. Then an idea came to mind: to move from just rearing the goats to adding value to them.
After the goat have been butchered, we bring it here to process some into kebab and then also some into packaged meat, like in 1 pound, in the pounds, and then in kilos for our customers who order for the day.
It was not an easy beginning for Gideon, who was then a graphic designer, to take up this new challenge. As he recalls, he was sometimes laughed at.
People meet you, they're like, Charlie, oh, this guy is smelling. But I know what I'm looking for.
What keeps Gideon is his determination. Determination to see himself succeed at what he does.
The keys to survive is, one, God. I think if you have God on your side, you can move mountains. And then with God, when you have faith, you can move mountains. And then two, hard work. If you are very hardworking, you push walls, you push every barrier, and then focus. If you are focused in what you are doing, you love what you are doing, you give all yourself to what you are doing, at the end of the day, you'll be smiling.
The story of Goat Masters, owned by Gideon Padikonote. Hopefully we can get to speak to him tonight. Gideon, can you hear me?
I'm there, well, I can hear you.
Okay, great. And so you talk about, God, hard work and focus. Those were your keys for success 4 years ago when there was not a pandemic. Now there is a pandemic. Are those keys relevant at this point?
They are very, very relevant because these are internal keys. Keys that keep you going in tough times, keys that keep you going when all odds and things are fighting against you. These are internal things that we really, really need as an entrepreneur to be able to push through, especially in our part of the world. Yeah, so it's very relevant still.
I want to hear about your experience during this period of the pandemic. What has it been like for you?
Okay, for the pandemic, I think it was a blessing in disguise. Actually, we were able to bring in new set of customers from older customers that we had. We had a lot of people calling in to be able to stock their fridges, especially for the lockdown. And then, yeah, it was good. But the challenge we had was an internal challenge, which has to do with one of our managers, booting with our money. That was the major challenge we had. But as the pandemic, because the government said essential workers can move about and do business, but with permits and stuff, we were able to do business during the lockdown.
Also, unlike other businesses which had to suffer during this period, you're saying that, the lockdown was a blessing in disguise because people had to stock up and you were the people supplying the meat anyways.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
so we had new customers. We were able to serve new people. So it was a blessing in disguise, yeah.
Okay, and so having said that, we're going into 2021. Some of your colleagues have not had it as easy as you have had it during this time of the pandemic. I always ask entrepreneurs when I speak to them about this, what the game plan is for 2021.
The game plan for 2021 is to increase the level of our sales because we have the mission of building the largest livestock market in Africa. So in 2021, we are looking at bringing in a lot of salespeople whom we don't have to be paying from our coffers, but they can make percentages or let's say incentives on products that they sell for us. So 2021, we are increasing our sales.
Yeah.
Because we've realized
go ahead.
The survival of business, we've realized that the survival of every business has more to do with liquidity. has more to do with cash, like getting cash to run your day-to-day activities. And it's only sales that can bring this level of liquidity into the business.
Okay, I want to ask finally about competition. You talk about the period of the lockdown where everybody was at home. Now the restrictions have eased. Suppliers like you would have been going to the restaurants, hotels to supply meat, but they are even having challenges with numbers at this point. Do you deem that a challenge for your business as well?
Okay, so one of our model has to do with dealing with individuals more than, let's say, restaurants, chop bars, and because with our experience on the ground for some years now, we've seen that dealing with individuals, you're able to break through more than dealing with, let's say, a restaurant. So it really helped us because we deal with individuals. We deal more with the homes. We deal more with individuals in their homes, offices, in their communities. So we are able to get orders and still deliver to these individuals. But after the lockdown, some of the restaurants who also do takeaways do order from us, though we have some restaurants that we do serve, but we do more of individuals.
Okay, great. Thanks for speaking with us tonight. That was CEO of Good Masters, Gideon Padikonute. One thing I learned is the business model that he's using at this point, which is not to supply the companies, hotels, restaurants, but individuals. And that's what is working for him during this time of the pandemic. Thanks very much.